There are two invisible forces quietly shaping your future. One builds wealth so slowly you barely notice it until one day it explodes in your favor. The other drains your future in real time, but it feels rewarding in the moment. Most people don't even realize which one is running their life. And the scary part? By the time you figure it out, it's already too late. Imagine two co-workers, both 30, earning $70,000 a year. One of them upgrades their car every few years, eats out 4 nights a week, always wears the latest, and jokes about, "You only live once." The other maxes their Roth IRA, lives slightly below their means, and invests consistently, even if it's not flashy. Fast forward 15 years. One has no savings but plenty of stuff. The other, sitting on a $500,000 portfolio that's growing faster than ever. Same income, same opportunity. Two entirely different financial outcomes, all because of one choice: compounding or consumption. If you're tired of surface-level advice and want to understand the real laws of money, subscribe to the channel. We break it down without the fluff. This is episode 1 of our new series, The Money Laws They Never Taught You. And today we're diving deep into the silent tug-of-war between the law of compounding and the law of consumption. Let's kick things off with the first law, the one the wealthy obsess over. The law of compounding is simple, but most people underestimate it because it hides behind delayed results. It's the principle that small, consistent actions done early and often snowball into massive gains over time. The magic isn't just in the numbers. It's in time and repetition. Think of it like planting a tree. The first few years look slow, almost disappointing. But one day, it grows taller than you imagined. Not because it suddenly got stronger, but because it stayed planted. That's how compounding works. Every dollar invested today isn't just a dollar saved, it's a worker hired. And over time, those workers multiply and recruit others. But here's the catch. The benefits of compounding come late, while the effort comes early. And in a culture obsessed with immediacy, that's a hard sell. So instead, we chase fast wins, short-term thrills, and instant rewards. Which brings us straight to the next law, the one that keeps millions stuck. The law of consumption plays to our most primal instincts. It rewards us quickly, feeds our identity, and satisfies our social comparisons. But what it gives in speed, it takes in scale. Every dollar consumed today is one less dollar working for you tomorrow, and over decades, that adds up to entire futures lost. There's a quote by Naval Ravikant that captures this perfectly: "Play long-term games with long-term people." In money, compounding is the ultimate long-term game. The problem is we're not wired for it. We're wired to consume. Our brains were built for survival, not savings accounts. Marketers know this. That's why every ad is engineered to hijack your attention. Press your emotional buttons and convince you that spending equals happiness. But here's the irony. The more you obey the law of consumption, the less freedom you have. It's like trying to dig yourself out of a hole with a shovel made of gold. It feels good for a while until you realize you've been standing still, maybe even sinking. This law isn't obvious until you compare two people with the same income, but different spending philosophies. The numbers tell the story, but even more than that, the trajectory does. Let's move on to the next piece, the hidden cost people rarely consider. The true danger of consumption isn't the money you spend today. It's what that money could have become. Most people look at a $300 purchase and think, okay, that's not too bad. But if you'd invested that same $300 in an index fund earning 8% annually, it would have turned into over $3,000 in 30 years. And that's just one transaction. Now multiply that by dozens of similar decisions each year, and you start to see why compounding versus consumption isn't just about habits. It's about identity. People who understand this law don't see a $5 coffee, they see a $5,000 leak over time. And no, that doesn't mean you have to live like a monk, but it does mean you should recognize the cost of saying yes today. Because every yes now is a quiet no to your future self. And the saddest part? Most people won't realize they've been bleeding opportunity until they're deep into their 40s or 50s, when the time they needed has already passed them by. By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far and want more topics like this, comment the word "more" so I know. Moving forward to the next. Why do so many people fall into this trap? Because the consumption loop is designed to feel right. It feeds you dopamine, social approval, and the illusion of progress. Every swipe of the card is rewarded, a package shows up, someone compliments your shoes, you feel in control. But it's a trick. A cleverly marketed, algorithm-approved trick. It's not a spending problem. It's a pattern problem. From a young age, we're taught to consume toys, trends, degrees, entertainment. No one teaches us how to build a portfolio, how to delay gratification, how to value time over things. And when someone does bring it up, they're labeled cheap or boring. The truth? The people we quietly admire, the ones with peace, freedom, and options, they're usually the ones who mastered the law of compounding when no one was watching. Meanwhile, we're out here celebrating people who lease their lifestyle just to look rich. That might sound harsh, but look around. How many people do you know who look successful but live paycheck to paycheck? That's not wealth. That's performance. Let's switch gears and talk about how to flip the entire script. The key is not discipline, it's automation. Most people lose to the law of consumption because they rely on willpower. But willpower is a weak defense against Amazon, Starbucks, and Instagram. So don't try to resist spending, remove the temptation entirely. Set up systems where money leaves your account before you see it. Use automatic transfers into your Roth IRA or brokerage. Set calendar reminders to review your net worth monthly. Build habits that remove decision-making friction. And more importantly, reframe your mindset. Every dollar saved isn't a loss. It's a vote for the life you actually want. And every unnecessary dollar spent, that's a delayed dream. Sounds dramatic, but it's true. Wealth doesn't just come from what you earn. It comes from what you keep, what you invest, and what you allow time to multiply. People think investing is risky, but spending without thinking, that's the biggest risk of all. And speaking of purpose-driven wealth, that's what I'm testing right now. I'm building a Google Sheets command center, something simple but powerful. It's designed to help you track your net worth, investments, income, cash flow, spending habits, and even your compounding progress, all in one place. It's not just a tracker, it's a strategy hub, the kind of thing I wish someone had handed me 10 years ago. If enough people want it, I'll launch it soon, and there'll be an exclusive launch discount for early supporters. You can join the early access waitlist link below. The tool will cost less than one bad financial decision, and that's the point. As Morgan Housel once said, wealth is what you don't see, and this tool is designed to help you see it clearly and grow it deliberately. Because clarity beats confusion, and habits beat hype. Let's dive into a few real-world examples that bring this all home. Take Chris, a 38-year-old sales manager who makes good money, around $120,000 a year. He's smart, educated, and always planning to invest soon. But life keeps getting in the way. Vacations, gadgets, the occasional splurge. Nothing extravagant, just normal life. At 38, he's got about $12,000 in savings and no serious investments. Now compare him to Jasmine, same age, similar income, but she started investing $500 a month at 25. Not a lot. Just enough to feel responsible. Today, Jasmine has over $140,000 in her portfolio, and it's compounding faster than her salary is growing. Same income, different behavior, opposite outcomes. Or consider Carlos, a teacher, who never made more than $60,000 a year, but started investing $200 a month when he was 30. He's now in his mid-50s with over $250,000 invested, not because he got lucky, but because he obeyed the law of compounding quietly and consistently. No drama, no hype, just results. And then there's the classic cautionary tale, a high-income earner who looked rich on the outside. Nice car, big house, designer everything, but under the hood, debt, stress, no assets. They were living inside the law of consumption the whole time and didn't know it until it was too late. What all of these stories show is simple. Your income is not the main variable. Your habits are. The law of compounding doesn't care how much you make. It only cares how long you give it. And the law of consumption doesn't care how hard you work. It only responds to how impulsively you spend. These aren't just financial choices, they're directional decisions. Every action you take moves you toward one of these laws, and the longer you stay on one path, the more irreversible the outcome becomes. The real question isn't which law you're following today. It's how long you've been following it, and whether it's time to switch lanes. Now let's bring it all together and challenge everything you've been taught. You've probably been told your entire life that financial success comes from hard work, good grades, climbing the ladder, or getting a better job. And while effort matters, it's not the deciding factor. The truth is, most people who stay broke aren't lazy. They're just stuck in the wrong financial rhythm. They obey the law of consumption without even realizing it. Every raise becomes a lifestyle upgrade. Every bonus turns into a shopping spree. Every dollar earned is seen as something to use, not something to multiply. And because the effects aren't immediate, it feels normal, even responsible. But wealth isn't loud. It's not a lifestyle you broadcast. It's a strategy you repeat. And the law of compounding rewards those who think decades ahead while everyone else thinks weekend to weekend. It's the invisible engine behind every financially free person you've ever met. You just didn't see it working in the background, quietly, patiently, relentlessly. If you're in your 30s or 40s and feel like you started late, don't panic. What matters most now isn't perfection, it's urgency. Because compounding punishes procrastination even harder than it rewards early action. The longer you wait, the harder it gets to build momentum. But the moment you decide to switch laws, even if you start small, the tide starts turning. And look, none of this is about being perfect. You're going to make purchases that aren't logical. You're going to have moments where you splurge, mess up, or fall off. That's okay. What matters is your dominant pattern. Are you living by the law of compounding most of the time? Or are you letting the law of consumption quietly rule your life? Because the longer you stay unaware of which law you're following, the more likely it is that your future will be chosen for you. But if you start now, even if it's just one smart move, one automatic transfer, one change in mindset, you take back control. You shift from reacting to designing, and that's where real freedom begins. If you found value today, I highly recommend watching my next video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also, feel free to leave your comment below, especially if this video made you think differently. I appreciate your support more than you know. Until next time, stay consistent, stay patient, and stay winning. See you in the next one, Money Magician.